And now moving to South America, Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro has called out President Donald Trump and El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele. During an address to the nation, Maduro called President Trump and Bukele fascist because El Salvador agreed to receive migrants deported by the Trump administration. Last weekend, the United States deported nearly 230 Venezuelan migrants who were allegedly affiliated with the Tren De Aragua cartel. However, Maduro claims they were innocent civilians who should be sent back to the United States. The Venezuelan leader, who is himself known for brutal crackdowns and silencing critics, has called the deportations inhumane.
They handcuffed Venezuelan deportees without telling them where they were going, and when they arrived in El Salvador, they got them off the hard way. They humiliate them by throwing them on the ground. They shave them. Do you call this justice? Do you call this international law? Do you call this human rights? How do you call this? This is called fascism, Nazism, and Venezuela is ready to denounce this massive violation of human rights against honorable migrant workers in the United States.
Now, a federal judge had in fact ordered the Trump administration to halt the forced deportations flights last weekend. However, the administration went ahead with the flights and even released a video showing the migrants being taken to a jail in El Salvador. Referring to that video, Maduro falsely accused President Trump of ordering ICE agents to kidnap migrants to send them to concentration camps in El Salvador.
I respectfully and publicly ask President Nayib Bukele, will you protect this cruelty, this injustice, without any right and process, to create concentration camps and put in gentle migrant workers, honorable people, in jails without any trial, without having committed crimes in El Salvador, without any sentence from a court in El Salvador? Is that legal? Is that fair? Is that human, Nayib Bukele? Is that human to do this to a human being just because he's a Venezuelan migrant?
Meanwhile, families of the deported Venezuelans are urging President Trump and President Bukele to order the release of the detained migrants.
We ask the corresponding authorities, the UN, to please join us. We want to know the whereabouts of our children. Please return them to us if they are in El Salvador. They are not criminals. Some people might have problems. They should be processed and investigated by the law. We are Venezuelan parents. We gave our children a good upbringing.
We found out on Saturday because my husband Darwin called to tell us they were putting him on a plane headed to Venezuela. They were fooled, it didn't happen. Those planes landed in El Salvador. We are here to see if Nicolas Maduro and his government official can help us so they can return to Venezuela.
Maduro has pledged to reach out to El Salvador's president to oversee the release of the detained Venezuelans, which includes members of violent gangs. And though it remains to be seen whether El Salvador will adhere to the request or keep the migrants detained as President Bukele's war against cartels continues.
Do you think that Ukraine is at its weakest position?
This war is not about Ukraine.
Do you believe that your president was insulted? Yes or no question. Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.
Diplomacy will work?
Yes.
Do you think Russia will give up the territory if there is no ceasefire? Do you propose to keep fighting?
We are ready to resist.
Do you think there will be peace?
Many countries gave us 3 days.
President Trump said you don't have any cards.
We do not have another choice.
How do you keep fighting?
You ask me once again the same question.
Because you've not answered my question.
We have enough capacities to keep fighting.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister Lakshman.
Good afternoon.
Making headlines in India well before you landed here. New Delhi has raised concerns in the recent past vis-a-vis the Khalistani separatists that operate in New Zealand. How do you propose to address these concerns?
In our democracy, we believe in the freedom of speech.
Organizations like the Al-Qaeda or ISIS were to hold a referendum in New Zealand, something related to one of your Western partners. Would you say the same?
We have very well-defined laws in our democracy.
No specific conversation on Khalistan on this visit.
It was raised with me. I also raised back our position.
Are you willing to be open to these concerns from New Delhi?
As I keep coming back to you to say, we have strong laws in our system.